Move your mouse to the left on idle mode to turn the camera angle left. Move your mouse to the right to turn the camera right. Press W on the keyboard on idle mode to move your character forward. Press A or D to move left or right respectively. Press S to backstep. Press the spacebar to jump. Now let's learn to sprint. While moving forward with W, press Shift to sprint. You'll consume stamina while sprinting. When the stamina gauge reaches 0, you will automatically go back to normal movement. Next, movement and camera angle combination. While moving forward with the W key, try moving your mouse to the left. You will be able to keep moving while changing the camera angle. Now let's talk about combat. Press the Tab key to toggle combat stance. Your character will draw the corresponding weapon. The controls remain the same in combat stance, except that now you can perform various skills. Left-click in combat stance to perform the character's basic attacks. Right-click to perform special attacks. For example, the warrior will use Shield Strike. Press Shift and any directional key together in combat stance to roll. You will not take damage from monsters while rolling. Let's move on to some character-specific combat skills. The warrior will perform Deep Thrust by pressing Shift and left-click. Deep Thrust will push the target back on hit. Left-click while pressing A or D, and the ranger will perform Evasive Shot. She will shoot arrows while swiftly dodging left and right. Use left-click and S key together to perform Sorceress's skill, Claws of Darkness. Claws of Darkness also pushes the target back on hit. For Berserkers, pressing right-click and S key together will trigger the skill Beastly Wind Slash. This skill will throw the target to the ground. Does using commands feel a little awkward? Try getting used to it, and it will give you a tremendous advantage. Think of the Black Spirit as your guide. You can summon it by pressing the comma key on the keyboard, and you'll get various quests as you go along. Most quests in Black Desert include navigation support. The red button shows you where the quest goal is, and the yellow button allows you to move toward it automatically. Now click the yellow button to automatically move your character to the quest location. Quest targets are highlighted in blue, so you can easily see them from a distance. After fulfilling the quest obligations, press the comma key to call the Black Spirit and end the quest. Check the icons above the heads of NPCs to see if they have a quest for you. A yellow or green icon means the NPC has a quest for you, while a blue icon indicates you're already working on it. A red icon means you can complete the quest from that NPC. You can easily make your way through NPC quests using navigation and auto-run. If you're not an auto-running person, you can use the navigation support and move the character to the destination on your own. Black Desert has set the WASD keys as the default keys for character movement. You can sprint forward by pressing Shift and W at the same time. Press M to open the world map, and right-click on an NPC to activate navigation support. After activating the navigation, a gigantic light pillar will appear in the world to clearly mark the destination. You can press T to auto-run while the navigation is activated. You can also move your character on your own if you want to move faster. That's Duvain, the NPC you've been looking for. You can buy gathering tools from material vendors in any town. There are many kinds of tools, so it's best to focus mainly on what you need. You'll need a lumbering axe for lumbering. Equip a lumbering axe and press R in front of a tree to obtain timber. If nothing happens, it means the tree has already been lumbered by a different player, and you must find another to work on. You'll need a pickaxe for mining. Equip a pickaxe and press R in front of rocks to obtain stone and ore. You must share rocks with other players, just like trees. This means you'll need to constantly look for active rocks. You'll need a fluid collector to collect various fluids. You can obtain tree sap by equipping the fluid collector, standing in front of a tree, and pressing R. All trees yield tree sap and timber, but keep in mind you can only obtain one at a time. In order to obtain animal blood, kill an animal-type monster and press R in front of its carcass. Don't forget that you can use the same fluid collector for both trees and animals. You'll need a tanning knife for tanning. Kill an animal-type monster and press R in front of its carcass to obtain its hide. Take note that you can also obtain hide from animal-type monsters killed by other players. You'll need a butcher knife for butchering. Use a butcher knife on the same animal carcass to obtain its meat instead of hide. As with tanning, even if a monster is too tough for you, you can still obtain its meat after getting another player to kill it instead. Use a hoe to dig up wild herbs and crops like potatoes. Though you can also perform gathering with your bare hands, keep in mind that a hoe gives you a 100% chance of obtaining crops or wild herbs. You can use an empty bottle when standing next to seas or rivers. Use an empty bottle by the sea to get a bottle of seawater, or by a river to get a bottle of river water. Of course, you can also use an empty bottle by a shallow puddle or small stream. Up next is processing, most of which can be done by pressing the L key to open the processing tab. Use shaking to mix two ingredients together into something new. To take just one example, you can make dough by shaking grain flour and mineral water. Use the method called grinding to grind materials down into powder form. You can make potato flour by grinding potatoes. Chopping is a method you can use to process timber to improve its quality. Successful chopping of timber will yield high-quality planks. Since the process called drying requires sunlight, you cannot dry things on a rainy day. Drying fish produces dried fish, which can be preserved much longer. The process known as thinning can only be done on windy days. To take just one example, you can use thinning on feathers to upgrade their quality. You can use heating on one or more items at a time to transform them into a new state. For example, heating multiple ore at once will yield a melted fragment. Simple alchemy allows you to carry out a basic synthesis process anytime, anywhere. This process adds value to certain items. Simple cooking allows you to make meals using basic ingredients only. You can perform node investment with the help of the node manager of an applicable region. Activate a node by investing your contribution points from the Node Management menu. You can also withdraw your invested contribution points anytime you want. Nodes can be connected with one another. Connect nodes one by one to make your own node route. To withdraw your investment in a node within the node route, you must begin by withdrawing from the last node on the route and work your way back one by one to the desired node. Production nodes are also called baby nodes. They're just one of the benefits of node investment. For instance, there's a potato production node on Logia Farm. After investing in the Logia Farm node, you can invest in this potato production node as well. Once activated, you can send workers to obtain potatoes from the node. You can always withdraw your investment in production nodes to retrieve your contribution points. If you want to withdraw your entire investment, start with the production node, then the regions node. The Black Desert housing system may seem a little daunting at first, but it's really simple. First, let's try clicking Velia on the world map. The activated blue icons represent the houses for sale. Click on a house, then choose what purpose you want the house to have. After choosing residence and investing your contribution points, you can use it as your residence until you sell it back. If you choose to use the house as a furniture workshop or a fish workbench, you can use a worker to make furniture or process fish to make trade items. Don't forget that you can buy or return a house anytime from the world map. In Black Desert, you can use your contribution points in many ways. You can even use your contribution points to rent items from NPCs. Marcella's protection ring requires 3 contribution points. Let's go ahead and rent it. As you can see, 3 contribution points were deducted. You can check for the rental item in your inventory. If you return the rental item, you can retrieve the contribution points you invested in full. The type of contribution item varies by town and often by NPC, so you can obtain different items to suit your needs as they change. If you urgently require a certain piece of equipment for hunting, renting a contribution item can be one way to satisfy your needs. Contribution items aren't limited to basic equipment. You can rent special items like matchlocks or flutes, too. So, shall we rent a matchlock? After renting, matchlocks can be used for shooting down wild beehives to add to your inventory. Keep in mind they have a variety of other uses too. You'll need a lump of raw sugar to catch and tame a wild horse. You can get the ingredients from an innkeeper in any town. In order to make 1 lump of raw sugar, you'll need 10 raw sugars and 1 mineral water. Choose Heating from the Alchemy processing tab and heat those 2 ingredients to get a lump of raw sugar. You can buy capturing ropes from any stable keeper, or you can get them as a quest reward. Start by throwing a capturing rope at the wild horse. Use the capturing rope, aim it at the wild horse, and throw. Then, hit the space bar when the gauge reaches red to start a tug of war. During the tug of war, press W to slowly approach the horse. When the horse raises its hooves, hit the space bar again. An even fiercer tug of war will begin. Repeatedly hit the space bar to overcome the horse and give yourself a chance to capture it. It's important to watch the horse's movements and only hit the space bar when it raises its hooves. It seems this guy just doesn't want to be tamed. Okay, now use the lump of raw sugar to feed it to the horse. You don't have to use it, but the more you do, the better your chances of taming a horse are. Using it 3 times seems to work best. Now press the R key and... yes, it's done! You successfully tamed a wild horse! You won't fully own the wild horse until you bring it to a stable keeper and have it registered. Name the horse, then check it out again to see the horse's information. Congratulations! The horse is all yours now. In Black Desert, you'll often use workers for node production, crafting, and more. There are several ways to obtain workers. The most basic way is using a contract after obtaining one as a quest reward. You can also talk to a work manager NPC and use energy and silver coins to obtain workers. You'll get a better worker in return for your energy and silver coins. Now that you've registered a worker in Velia, you can put it to use. If you want to hire another worker, you may do so after changing a house into a lodging. Lodgings hold one worker each, so you can hire a new worker for every lodging you develop. Shall we try out some crafting? Let's make a fishing rod. First, change your house to a tool workshop, then deposit the required work materials in the storage. These materials must be in the storage for your workers to start working. Crafting was enabled after depositing 4 logs in the storage. Start the task and wait for the completed products to be delivered to the storage. You can also send your workers to work at production nodes. Select the Logia Farm potato production node, assign the worker to the task, and the worker will start harvesting potatoes. Each worker is affiliated with a certain town. You have to hire different workers for different towns. You can technically use a worker from a different region, but it will take much longer to complete the work. Workers gain XP as they work, and they also level up when they have enough experience. Workers gain abilities as they level up, so monitor your workers' progress and use them appropriately. This worker developed a skill called Work Supervisor at level 5. In order to try your hand at fishing, you'll need a fishing rod. You can buy one from a fish vendor, or make one yourself by crafting. Head to the coast, equip a fishing rod, and hit the spacebar to start fishing. Now all you need to do is enjoy the scenery while waiting for a fish to bite. Here, fishy fishy! Oh, a fish seems interested. Quickly press the spacebar. Hit the spacebar one time when the fishing gauge reaches the blue area, then press the exact keys shown on the screen to successfully haul in the fish. Use energy to increase your chances of catching a better fish. Press and hold the spacebar to use energy. The longer you hold it, the more energy you'll use. The fish you catch can be used for cooking right away. You can also earn silver coins by selling fish to trade managers. Knowledge has various functions in Black Desert. One of them is to complete a knowledge subject to extend your maximum energy. Shall we complete the subject, Merchants of Velia? The question marks on the world map indicate the NPCs you haven't obtained knowledge about yet. Some of those must be part of the subject, Merchants of Velia. Shall we try meeting them one by one? After tracking down an NPC, talk to it to obtain knowledge about it. Good, we gained knowledge on Bahar, the trade manager. That's exactly how you accumulate knowledge about different NPCs. We're almost done, but there's still one more NPC left. The hint suggests it's a storage keeper. Let's go meet the storage keeper NPC and complete the Merchants of Velia. Excellent! Your maximum energy has increased by 2 points. Sometimes you must meet certain requirements to gain knowledge on NPCs. For example, you couldn't acquire knowledge on Hervano Tito just by talking to him. But he did mention something about an NPC named Kale. You obtained knowledge on Kale. Having 1 or more Amity points means you gained knowledge on that NPC. With knowledge on Kale, you can now gain knowledge on Hervano Tito and converse with him too. You need to get knowledge about an NPC to use the NPC's functions, including receiving quests. You can boost your Amity with an NPC through conversation. You need to have knowledge on topics that an NPC would find interesting to carry out a conversation. In the case of Vangol, you need to have knowledge on the Velia farm people to converse with him. Unfortunately, you don't have enough knowledge on that yet. So we'll have to get more knowledge on the Velia farm people. Now that we have enough, you'll be able to converse with Vangol. Press Conversation to see the requirements for a conversation. If you've met the requirements, you can increase your Amity. You'll get something like a card for each bit of knowledge on a subject, and it's important to combine them properly to fulfill the requirements. The key is to use knowledge in a way that will spark an NPC's interest, curry their favor, and connect the conversation further. Some NPCs play special roles as your Amity points with them increase. Reaching 500 Amity points with Vangol, for instance, opens the option to buy a contract that you can use to hire him as a worker. Vangol is obviously much better than ordinary workers. However, keep in mind that by purchasing this contract, your Amity points with Vangol will decrease. A residence is a space of your very own. It's your first house, though, so it's a little plain. Get into place mode to decorate it. Feel free to place your furniture and other objects in any way you want. The feel and atmosphere of your residence depends on how you arrange your objects. You can adjust the height of a chandelier by scrolling with your mouse. You can get a special buff by interacting with certain pieces of furniture. Press the R key in front of the furniture to receive the buff. However, the buff will no longer be available if the furniture loses all durability. If you lie down on a bed, your energy will be restored twice as quickly. You can have up to 5 residences, regardless of the territory they're in. If you have enough contribution points, you can purchase a residence anytime on the world map. Now let's learn how to move your residence. First and foremost, you can use mounts, like a donkey. Load up your mount with your furniture, move to another residence, and place the furniture by yourself. It's best to use a mount to move furniture, since it's so heavy. Though you can directly confirm the location of your residence on the world map, you can obtain navigation information with greater ease by clicking the residence icon on the left of the screen. The second way to move is using the transport service. Confirm that you have enough money in storage for the transport fee, enter the transport menu, then choose the Send menu. Select the destination and means of transport, then send whatever goods you need. Oh, the transport fee will be 3 times higher since the origin and destination's nodes aren't connected. We'd be better off doing some investing first. Connect the origin and the destination's nodes to cut down the transport fee. The transport fee is certainly a lot cheaper now. Okay, let's go see the storage keeper at our destination town. Select the transport menu to see the goods you sent. After receiving them, place them in your new residence and you're done. Cooking must be performed in your residence. Place the cooking utensils in your residence using the Place mode, and you'll be able to cook meals. Insert the exact amount of ingredients necessary and start cooking. But keep in mind, if the cooking fails, the ingredients will disappear. You can make grain soup with cooking wine, a potato, salt, and mineral water. When using continuous production, the ingredients in your inventory will continually be used to mass-produce items. Remember that you don't have to insert a bunch of a particular ingredient, just enough to make one serving. Then choose how many times you want to repeat the cooking process. See? It just keeps on cooking. Eating meals can grant buff effects and boost your health too. Alchemy can be performed at your residence. Enter Place Mode to install an alchemy tool in your residence and get started. As with cooking, insert the appropriate amount of ingredients and start the synthesis. With these ingredients, you can make clear liquid reagent, a base material for alchemy. When using continuous production, the ingredients in your inventory will continually be used to mass-produce items. Remember that you don't have to insert a bunch of a particular ingredient, just enough to make one mixture. Then choose how many times you want to repeat the alchemy process. To develop your own garden, you need to borrow a fence from a certain NPC using your contribution points. Let's borrow the small fence for 3 contribution points. Use the fence on a flat plane with no rocks or other obstructions to make a garden. Then start gardening by planting a seed item in your garden via the Place mode. Spread some fertilizer in your garden to speed up growth. Fertilizer speeds up growth time by about 1 hour. If the garden has become dry, use such items as a bottle of river water to add some moisture. You can also install a waterway made through crafting to enhance the efficiency of garden growth. Birds can cause problems when they pick at your crops. In order to prevent this, you can install scarecrows, another item made through crafting. If a crop isn't growing properly, you can solve the problem by spending 1 energy point to prune the branches. You can kill insects the same way by pressing the R key. Oh, the crops are finally ready! It's harvest time! There are 2 main ways to harvest. You can pick the crops right away. Or you can select plant breeding to enhance the grade of the crops. If plant breeding succeeds, you will either obtain a higher graded seed or multiple seeds of the same grade. There are 6 designations for quests in Black Desert: Combat, Life, Fishing, Exploration, Trade, and Other. Select your desired quest type, then choose which quest you want to take on. Of course, you can choose to select all quest types if you want. You can toggle them on and off at any time, so don't worry too much about what to choose. This is Zaira. She doesn't appear to have any quests for you at the moment. But if you turn on life quests, you'll see she actually does have one. Creo doesn't seem to have anything for you either. But if you turn on fishing quests, you'll see he does indeed have a quest to offer. Follow this method to filter out certain types of quests that don't suit your playing style. Received quests can be sorted by preferred type, distance, and date received. The sorting function can come in handy if you want to carry out quests more efficiently. There's an easier way to find an NPC in a town than by just walking around. Look at the upper right corner of the screen and you'll see many icons. These icons indicate an NPC's role. Select General Goods Vendor and you'll activate navigation guidance to Aylin, the closest NPC with this job. Now, let's try clicking Stable. Just follow the navigation line directly. Keep following it and you'll reach Lorenzo Murray, a stablekeeper in Velia. Select these icons to conveniently find whatever type of NPC you need. Black Spirit's Rage strengthens the power of certain skills in combat. The Black Spirit's Rage gauge increases every time you kill a monster. When it hits 100%, applicable skills become much stronger. You can also absorb the power of Black Spirit's Rage when it's 100% to receive buff effects. Just press the Z key. If a friendly player transfers their Black Spirit's Rage to you, your Rage gauge can be filled up to 200%. There are special skills that are only available for use when the Black Spirit's Rage gauge is at 200%. Press the Control key to turn the mouse on or off. Then click the red button on the Received Quest info menu to activate navigation for that quest's destination. The destination will be highlighted by a huge pillar of light that you should be able to see from a distance. If you click the yellow button, you'll auto-run to the destination. You can alternate between auto-run and self-navigation to move to the destination at your leisure. You can also set your own destination for your navigation. Press the M key to open the world map. Then, right-click on a set location, and you'll activate the navigation for that destination. Right-clicking again on an empty spot on the world map will cancel the You must constantly strive to learn new skills for more efficient combat. You can learn such skills from the skill instructors in each town. The plus icon indicates a skill you can learn now. Left-click on the skill to learn it. You can also acquire skills using the Learn button in the Learnable Skills list on the right. It's possible for you to learn skills without a skill instructor. Press the K key to open the skills window and learn the skill you want. However, this will consume energy if you're not with the skill instructor. You can confirm quest targets on the minimap. The orange dots on the minimap indicate these quest targets. This is especially useful for hunting quests. Use the minimap to locate and eliminate your targets. When you come upon a target, you'll see the quest objectives written above the target's name. The target's body will also be highlighted in blue, making it very easy to identify.